And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show and very excited to have with us today. Well, she's turned into one of the bad girls of AEW. Oh, I think the alien is gone, but we are very excited to have Kris Statlander joining us on the Mark Hoke Show. Kris, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, you're looking devilish today. You just ready to clock somebody? I mean, I didn't do anything wrong today.
I mean, I'm just always in a mood.
Well, you've certainly been in a mood lately. Of course, uh, things have been getting very interesting for you. A little bit of a change of heart over the past few months. A little different attitude. What's up with that, Kris?
I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta do what's best for you, you know?
Yeah, and Stokely Hathaway sure has been egging you on a little bit too. I mean, went from being one of the nice ladies in AEW, and now all of a sudden you're beating up security guards, swinging chairs, taking out Willow Nightingale. I mean, this is quite the switch for you from 2019.
I mean, like I said, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Maybe the security guard shouldn't have been in my way.
I wouldn't get in your way. I think it's a bad idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm smart. Just let you go do your thing.
Yeah.
Well, now, you've, of course, won that eliminator match and against Will Nightingale, and you're going to get the challenger for that CMLL championship.
hmm
Are we going to be doing that at All In? When do you plan to take that on?
I'm not really sure. I think what could work best is doing it as soon as possible. You know, I've already got the one up on her. You know, might as well just keep kicking her while she's down. But the fun thing about wrestling is that anything can happen at any time, anywhere. So you never really know where I'll just side.
Okay, well, All In wouldn't be bad, but if you want to keep beating her up for a while, I guess that's okay.
Exactly. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
whatever I want.
I love this new attitude. I'll tell you, Kris, it's been fun to see you make this change and try and do things a little bit differently. I mean, of course, when you came into AEW, it's just we're on a roll and doing good things in there, and doing the alien gimmick. But man, I like this. I'm digging it. Are
Well,
you
you don't really have a choice.
are
So
you are you enjoying this now?
yeah, this is me. You know, like I said, no one really has a choice whether they get to enjoy it or not. This is just who I am, and this is what you're gonna get.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, for fans that may be listening to the show that don't know a little bit about your background, I mean, you have done so many different things in your life up until uh, this point. College, dropped out to be a stunt woman, uh, into marine biology and the science, and done so many different things.
Mhm.
It's a pretty incredible road for you, leading to this point.
Yeah, I think I'm more so just someone that I like a lot of things and I don't know what to kind of direct my attention to at times. But luckily, wrestling being as crazy as it is just a constantly ever changing thing that keeps my interest. So I think we landed in a spot that I needed to land in.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I know you had started going to school for athletic training, which actually was where I started when I went to college,
hmm
getting into that. So, yeah, I mean, that's incredible to see, all those different things. What kind of things are you into on the science side? I know, the marine biology and so on, you studied that pretty hard. What else do you kind of get into?
I mean, I always am very interested in anything space related. Again, it's something that we're always finding new things out about. And that's another reason why I enjoy marine biology is because there's so much undiscovered things about the ocean. But I did go back to school for massage therapy, so I do have an interest in like anatomy and muscles and kinesiology and stuff like that, and knowing muscles and how they work. And I feel like that's something that slightly relate or translates in wrestling, and at least in my training for wrestling. So I think there's some benefits to that.
My kinesiology class in college was a nightmare. That might have been the hardest course I ever took, learning how the movements of every muscle in the body. I mean, that's some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, I think my toughest was neurology. I That one was really hard for me to grasp.
Yeah, it's the study of the human body is amazing. But now you don't have everybody coming up and bugging you for a massage in the locker room and stuff, do they?
No, they know not to bother me.
That's a very good decision on their part. And of course, we're on the Mark Hoke Show with Kris Statlander, who will be challenging at some point for the CMLL Women's Championship,
Mhm.
as taken out Willow Nightingale the other night, and now looking to do it again. So should be a pretty interesting situation there. What's it like working with Stokely Hathaway? Because that guy's just a fireball.
He's something else, I will say. But as much as he helps me out, I help him out, and I keep I make him do push-ups every day. I make him train. I make him do rolls in the hallway. Getting him ready
Really?
to put up a fight whenever I'm gonna need him to put up a fight. So I'm just prepping him for when his time comes.
That would be interesting. I would like to see it. I think we need some video of you making him do rolls. I think we could get a kick out of that. But
Yeah.
what is this relationship like now between the two? Of course, you were friends, and now you're tearing each other apart. But it seems like the both of your levels go up when you're facing off.
I guess there is that aspect of, there's that familiarness with her, where you're because you guys know each other so well, you are forced to bring out the best in each other, because there's the only other person that knows you better than them is yourself at that point. Um, so you're forced to kind of go deeper into levels that you may not have wanted to or have been ready to go to mentally, but sometimes it you need to push yourself in that way.
And all of you women in AEW have been pushing yourselves pretty hard. This division over the past few years is so different. It's very different than to what it is now, with all these additions like Deonna Purrazzo coming in, and Serena Deeb, and your ascension, and Britt Baker getting back into things again. What a group of women you have in that locker room to work with. It's very exciting to see.
Yeah, and not only are they very talented uh, wrestlers, but they're all just so motivated to continue on this path of this upward rise that we're on. I think so many of us have been uh, just like an afterthought in a way, where now now that we're getting a little bit of an inch, we're taking a mile, and we're doing everything that we can to prove that we can hang and that we can, you know, outwork other people and have a rightful spot on every single show that we're on.
Is there any rivalry between you ladies and the men about getting TV time? I know we just had this little blow up with Brit, and the details aren't out on all that. But do you feel sometimes like the women aren't getting enough time on AEW, or is it okay? What is that dynamic like right now?
I mean, there's always a desire for more time, no matter who you are. So it's you can't really pinpoint people against each other. We're all working together for a company, for the better of the company, to put out an amazing product for the fans. So it's not fair to try and pinpoint people against each other, just because everyone, you know, everyone wants to be a part of something great and something special, and we all want to put our best foot forward, and we all want the opportunity to prove that we are doing what's best for the show and for everyone. So I think there's just always going to be a desire for to be seen and to be as beneficial as much as possible. I wouldn't dare say that we're fighting each other for anything.
Now, the TV situation, Tony Khan is wrapping up these negotiations, and it looks like you're going to be getting a streaming deal on Max, along with, maybe some different time structures, a longer Dynamite show. How tightly do you and everybody in the locker room follow things like that? And how excited are you about the possibility of this deal getting wrapped up and cementing AEW's future and adding a streaming option as well?
I mean, there's no negativity or no bad feelings that you could possibly have about signing deals and, like you said, cementing the future and continued success. As far as how much I keep up with it, I'm not involved in any of that. I am just someone who's happy to show up and happy to be a part of something. I'm the last person to get any inside information out of. I know nothing, and I like to be blissfully unaware. It makes it a lot easier sometimes to, show up and to be a good spirit and uplifting person in the locker room.
Absolutely. And, I'm looking forward to, I mean, I've been an AEW fan since the show started, and, it's exciting to see where everything's gone. And you've been there a long time too. How do you feel about the progression of AEW, and where do you want to see it go from here?
I mean, I only want to see it ever get bigger and better, being someone who's been there from basically the beginning, it means a lot to me that we continue to grow and people have stuck with us along the way to watch us grow and help us grow. There's nothing you want more than success. Again, I like everyone just wants what's best, not just for AEW, but for wrestling in general, because the more popular wrestling becomes, the more successful we all become. And there's truly nothing better than that.
So now, with everything that's going on in AEW, there was one thing that happened the other day that caught everybody a little off guard, and that was seeing Tony Khan having a meeting with Shane McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to get your thoughts about that and what everybody was thinking when they saw that picture and saw Tony hanging out with Shane.
Hey, I mean, like I said before, I'm one of the most blissfully unaware people. I don't really have much of an opinion on it,
No?
It's not my business. So
It would be interesting, though. We were having a fight about it on my show on Sunday, so I'm curious to see where that ends up. But a McMahon in AEW, that would be entertaining to say the least. Now, of course, we're here in Las Vegas, and you have had some incredible moments here with winning the TBS title. I remember I went crazy that night when you did it, and you're smiling right now. That's fantastic. And of course, we had the breakdown with you and Willow Nightingale. Las Vegas is kind of becoming Statlander territory a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what Las Vegas means to you now.
It's crazy because I've never been to Las Vegas outside of being there for AEW. So it's very interesting that that's kind of like become a place for me when I only ever go there for a very specific big major moment. And it's kind of a really cool thing and I don't think I ever want to, break that tradition, because it's become a very important place for me, just given the amount of sentimental moments that I've had there. It hasn't been much, but I've also, the first time I ever main evented a show in AEW was also in Las Vegas. So it's a bit of a crazy place. It's not my favorite to have to go to just because of how crazy Las Vegas is, but it's a great place for me as far as wrestling goes.
Well, hey, when next time you guys are out, we'll get everybody together. We'll show you around a little bit of normal Las Vegas. I promise. There is more besides the Strip in Fremont.
No, I know. I like my blissful unaware.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, coming up, and I did want to ask you, how's your health going? Of course, for people that don't know, you really had to overcome a couple of massive knee injuries. How's the body doing? Are the knees doing okay? You're feeling good right now?
Yeah, everything feels great. I'm a new woman. I've got new knees, new attitude. I'm ready to take on anyone, anything.
Even Orange Cassidy?
I'd punch him again if I had to.
It's funny that I had Orange on the show right before that, and he was talking about the friendships that he had with Trent and you guys and all, and how it would be sad if it all broke up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you miss him a little bit?
I mean, when we were going through all that, it absolutely broke me down inside because it's hard to lose someone and lose multiple people that you care about so much. But ultimately, you got to do what's best, do it for the greater good. And it as much as it hurts to move on, you have to find new relationships, new friendships, new people to have your back.
All right. And of course, you're going to be trying to win that CMLL title. What else do you have in mind too? Because, I have a feeling you're going to be walking out with that belt as
I
soon as
mean,
you can. But what else is on the radar for you in the future?
uh, beat people up, take over the world, be cooler than everybody else. I'm a simple girl. I'm gonna rule the world.
Well, Kris, you're well on your way. And I've been a longtime fan of your work, and you just keep getting better and better. And I can't wait to see what the future's got in store for you. And maybe it's a CMLL Women's Championship at All In, which would be fantastic. So, but Kris, want to thank you for the time today. Really do appreciate it. It was great to talk to you again. I hope everything goes well for you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Kris Statlander, everybody.